why I have 3 rescues. Wow, isn't it remarkable when you see the pictures and witness how our lives as humans are transformed by the love of a pet? It really is remarkable. Oh, okay. Very inspiring, that video really is, but there's a more inspiring person we're here to honor today, and that is our 2015 honoree, Stephanie Rivera. She's being recognized for her partnership with the HSC to promote animal welfare and improve the lives of companion animals. Stephanie, a lifelong animal lover, strongly believes in protecting the rights of animals, promoting spay and neuter, and eradicating puppy mills. Her affinity for animal welfare makes her association with the Humane Society of Charlotte just a natural fit. In 2013, Stephanie worked diligently to produce and sponsor a 2014 calendar featuring Panthers players and the HSC's shelter dogs and cats. All the proceeds from that sale of the puppies, Panthers, and kittens, oh my, calendar, well, it directly benefited the Humane Society, totaling over $27,000. In 2015, she also, am I reading my part? Or still moving on? Okay. I feel like I'm going on too long and someone else is supposed to come up. Okay. I'm just so proud of all the things that Stephanie has done. 2014, she spearheaded the publication of a cookbook that showcases HSC shelter animals and Panthers players. She also planned and sponsored a fundraising launch party at Mercedes-Benz of South Charlotte for the Rescue Recipes cookbook. That effort raised $40,000. In addition, I'm in awe of her. In addition, Stephanie has served as honorary chair of the HSC's Ties and Tails Gala, attended the Petpalooza as a celebrity guest. I've seen her there with people lining up to meet her and her husband, but I think they're going to meet you. She just has been an amazing, she's helped the Humane Society of Charlotte to edge even closer to fulfilling its vision for all companion animals to one day live in a community full of care and compassion without the threat of being unwanted. So, thank you, Stephanie, for everything that you have done. On behalf of the Humane Society of Charlotte, we want to present you with an award for your work to improve the lives of companion animals right here in our community. Thank you. Very, very well deserved. Actually, I kind of hate standing behind the podium. If you don't mind, I'm going to kind of walk around a little bit. Yeah, I wanted to, probably the best thing I can do right now is explain how this association started. 2011, my husband, Ron Rivera, was named the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. And so, being in the NFL for so long, I know the impact that NFL coaches and players and everything else can make on the community. And so, we knew that we had a responsibility to probably give back to the community. Well, 2011, usually when I move to a new community, it takes me a while to get settled in as we move family and everyone over. So that year, that first year of the season, actually getting through the season too is pretty difficult. But I was doing a lot of research. I picked up all the magazines in the area. Society magazine was here, the Charlotte magazine, South Park magazine, and I'm looking. And one of the things that I saw was this community is so generous. You could see all the different charity events, and I was like, wow, Charlotte's not that big. I mean, I've lived in Chicago and Philly and San Diego, and Charlotte per capita is not that very, very big, but we saw, wow, these people are just so into their community. How can we help? I mean, we need to be involved too. So as we're looking around, I think we saw that the number one thing we had to decide is what was important to us. And so number one, we had to have a personal connection. And two, we definitely want to make sure that the organization we picked were definitely helping in the community. And the third component was we want to make sure that the money that we helped, or whatever we helped do, the money stayed with that charity and got to the cause. And you know, we hear about the charities that the overhead is just astronomical, and the services aren't getting to who needs it, to the people, the animals, you know, who needs it. So I really did a lot of research. And so what we came up with is, number one was the USO, because my husband has a military background. So that was kind of a no-brainer for us. Ron and I, we sponsor families to Panther games. We go to the different military bases in the community. And so, you know, we do a lot of things. He invites wounded warriors over to, you know, practice all the time. So that was one of the charities. The next was Ron McDonald House, because when we were approached by a lot of different organizations, you know, how do you choose what illness or what, you know, thing to help? And we thought, you know, what's more important is to help all families. So we picked Ron McDonald House because it didn't matter which hospital a child and family was attending, you know, whether it was Novant or Levine, Ron McDonald's House was there for them. So we picked that. The third charity meant a lot to us because we've always had animals in our lives. So we thought, let's get involved in an animal charity. And as I kept turning on the TV and I kept opening the newspaper, I kept hearing about all the things that Humane Society of Charlotte was doing. I mean, the puppy mills and the rescues of the animals there, the adoptions, the volunteering, the spay and neutering program. I'm like, wow, these people do a lot. And so I saw in the paper Pet Palooza, and we were actually thinking about getting a family portrait. So I thought maybe we could find someone, you know, at Pet Palooza that does family portraits, because all the people that are at the event probably, you know we would probably find a photographer that knew how to shoot animals. So, you know, that we had to have our family portrait with our dog. So I needed to find an expert. So I figured, you know, Pet Palooza is probably a good place to find one. And sure enough, we did. And Randon Mack was who we found. And how many people got our calendar? And then how many people got our cookbook? Okay, well, she volunteered to do all the work there and all the photography. So if you didn't get the calendar, you know, you missed out, because, you know, we had some really good-looking guys and animals in here. And, you know, so I mean, you know, these are some of the things that we did, and I just, you know, what happened was when we went to Pet Palooza, I not only found Rhiannon, but I ran into Donna Canzano, and I said, you know what, Ron and I would like to help you. She was like, oh my gosh, yes, whatever you want to do. And I'm like, okay, well, I haven't figured it out yet, but let me get back to you. And, you know, I was looking and trying to think of what we can do to involve the Panther players, because the Panthers had not been involved at all with Humane Society. And so I thought, let's do the calendar, because how cute would it be to have these big hulking football players with little itty bitty kittens and puppies? And the guys were great. You know, my husband just said, hey guys, you want to help us out? And they were all like, no problem, you know, let's take these pictures. And they brought, some of them went to the studio, some of them, you know, made themselves available, some of them brought their own pets. But the number one thing is you realize that there's so many pet owners and pet lovers out there, and so we just wanted to get that connection together. And it was really a great, you know, when people saw it and the quality. And that's one of the things I want to make sure too, that there's so many great sponsors, and the doctor here with the definitely needs some work. I'm seeing you, thank you very much. And you know, and Nikki's international. I looked you guys up, and I'm like, so if I ever need any international translations, I'm hooking up with you guys too. But the one thing that is really important, I think, is the people that are here that sponsored your table hosts, whatever. We need to say thank you to them, and we need to be I like to do is solicit the people that help the charities I'm involved with. So Boingo Graphics was awesome. Boingo Graphics did an awesome job of both this. Producing high quality. I mean, people, I bring these things back home, and I make everybody Panther fans back home, and they're like, wow, this is incredible. And so I think one of the things that is most important is I think it's important not only for us to when we help the Humane Society, we also should be involved in the sponsors that help the Humane Society. So with this cookbook, I tend to go to all the restaurants that sponsored us in this, and if you haven't seen this, we have some of the top restaurants in the community that participated in this. So that's my way of giving back to the people that gave to the Humane Society. So that's one of the things that if we can do, when you see some of the hosts and some of the sponsors of some of the events, one of the other things is, we had our Mercedes event, and so, if you're in the market for Mercedes, head on over to Mercedes South Charlotte. But also, one of the things that I thought was pretty cool was, I think last year that there was a little break-in at the Humane Society, and I'm friends with the Gills, CPI Security, and I saw that in the paper, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to call them. Sure, before I even had a chance, they stepped up and they provide now security at the Humane Society. So I mean, it's action like that we need to acknowledge, and I think it's important for us to say thank you. And so some of the other things that I think we as women in this audience, my husband, first of all, he wanted to say, the one great thing about the Humane Society and owning pets is this is your one opportunity to choose your relatives. And I mean, we know how our pets are our family. And so we definitely, we know how important it is. But the one thing too is the women in this audience, this is something the NFL just figured out just recently. That women are the decision makers in most families. Yeah, just recently they figured that out. That women are the ones that buy the products. Women are the ones that make sure those season ticket renewals are filled out and paid for. They're the ones that, make all these, decisions, right? Well, you are the decision makers here in this room today. And I think you are the ones that can decide how much and how you get it help the Humane Society.